Hello. I don't know what that is. Yeah, you can leave that there. So we're going to give it a few minutes for some other people to join. Yeah. Hello. We're going to give it a few minutes for other people to join, but we're going to be finishing off our bead embroidery design today. Hi, everybody. So we are going to show how we kind of like put the finishing touches on some bead embroidery stuff. And this will be available as a kit afterwards. How's everybody doing today? Everybody good? Hola, de Puerto Rico. Nosotros estamos en Georgia, in Brazelton, Georgia. I'm just stalking today. Are you stalking me today? You can stalk me, it's fun. Hi, Connie. So, all right. We are doing well here. Oh, good. I'm glad. Hey, Sharon. Oh, more emails. I don't like that sound. Hello. We are going to be doing this guy, finishing up him today. He does not have a name either. Stephanie's been making so many stuff that I just quit naming things. Oh, thank you. Yes, they're very pretty and they're very easy to work with because they're very not thick at all. So makes it awesome to have fun with. Very fácil, very easy. You know, put a nice mix of crystals at the bottom too to makes everything look better. Hey! All right, cool. So the time, we'll give it like a minute or two more and then we'll start. But we'll give a little overview. Thank you. Hello. So this is the leather that I'm going to be using on the back of it. Isn't that just scrumptious delicious? I have not had a chance to work with this leather yet, so I was really excited about that. So, I mean, I worked with leather before, the lambskin Italian leather, but, you know, you have to have, like, I guess you have to have a reason of why you're going to work with something. So, but I think just to put this on the back is just going to, like, it's going to be ultra lively. So, I'm excited about that. So, but yeah. So, we're going to be talking about kind of filling in the gaps and spaces here. I'm going to talk about how I did the points on this side here. Hey, Nancy. Teresa. So here are the points. So at the bottom of the crystals. Of course, don't want to leave them blank because you want to have something around the edge, like a seed bead or something like that, to do the brick stitch off of. So, so that's why we kind of encase everything, or try to encase everything with some kind of beads. So, make sense? Cool? Cool. Alrighty. So, let's see. Well, we're going to go ahead and start then. And I'm going to start with, on these points here, as you can tell, there are some 15 seed beads around here. So I figured out that about 3 seed beads will fit on each side of this point here to reach the beads from here. In the middle part right here, it was the middle crystal, it was about 4 seed beads. So, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how to do that. It's just a simple back stitch. So what you're going to do is you're going to come out of your beadwork. You can see my needle, it's right against the silver here, but there we go. But it's right up against the edge of the crystal where the seed beads. What is the stiff stuff you're using for this project? Pallone. So this is not lacy stiff stuff. This is generic. So it's Pallone. And you can find it at like Hobby Lobby or something like that. If you guys get the kit for this, then it'll be included in your kit. So let me angle this better so that way we can catch it and I can see it at the same time, because there's nothing worse than beading when you can't see what you're doing. So God knows what it's going to come out with. So, all right, so I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads. And like I said, it's about 3 seed beads to reach from the edge of the seed beads on there to the point. Hello, Lynn. Hello. So there we go. So we started from the edge of the crystal, and we're going to go down to the tippy top part of the crystal. So I'm just going to put my needle straight down to the tippy point of the crystal there. All right. And then this is just a simple back stitch. So we're going to travel back up through the seed beads that are right adjacent to the edge of the crystal there. And back through the last 2 that I just added. Yellow, yellow, giallo, giallo, yellow in Italian. Questo sono giallo. No, questo non sono giallo, questo sono blu. Tutto lo colore del blu. Colori? Colori. Colore is colors in Spanish. You didn't know you get a language lesson at the same time as getting a beading lesson here. All right, so exiting that one, I'm going to pick up 3 more seed beads, and I'm going to travel up the point now, so up the side of the point. So I picked up 3 15 seed beads, and now I'm going to travel back down into right next to the crystal, right at the edge of my seed beads here. So, and it's just, like I said, all we're doing is encasing this crystal here. All right, and then we're going to go back up through in between the first and the second seed bead there. I don't know why everybody's doing bead embroidery right now. So, like I saw Melissa Gurkowski, she's doing some more bead embroidery again. So, well, she did the mask, so she's like into bead embroidery mode right now. So, but it's very expressive. You know, you can do whatever you want with it. So. All right, so there we go. We encased that last crystal there with the seed beads. So remember I told you that I don't like to see any white space. So if I flip this over and you can see in here, you can see those little white spaces there, right there. Yeah, we're going to fill that up because Italian yet again. I'm sorry, Lynn, I can't speak Chinese. So the only thing I know in Chinese is what you order from a menu. So... and it's probably not actual Chinese. Well, would you like the poo-poo platter, please? So, oh gosh. And German, I don't even know German either. I don't even know German foods. So I can't help you there either. But yeah, you see the white here, in between the crystals? Well, the crystals are so large that they can't really flush back up against the stone. So, oh, thanks, Cheryl. Awesome. Yeah, you're going to have fun with that. So which color did you get? Did you get the gold? The gold is the prettiest. I will say that. That is my favorite. That's the one I first came up with. So good job. Cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so, yeah. So anyway, so here in this gap here, we're going to fill this up with some seed beads. I cannot stand to see any, like, white from stiff stuff on bead embroidery. Now, okay, so let's talk some bead embroidery again, just like as an off topic. So we got some beautiful Italian leather, lambskin leather. So seeing things like this, like the leather, is okay. So we can put the leather on top of something and then, you know, put a cabochon here, 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 whatever, and you don't have to fill the whole entire thing with beads. But if you're beading on a surface like lacy stiff stuff, then you're going to want to cover just about everything because you don't want to see any of that. And I colored it with the markers in the first lesson, because just in case you can see any a little bit. So say like here in between where these crystals are, these what are these? These are not Monty's. Crystal sequins. Where these crystal sequins are here, you can see a little bit of white there. I really can't do much of anything like that because I can't fit a seed bead in there, but you color it. You color the backing so that way you don't have to worry about seeing that. That will take away from it. But, oh, thank you. Yep. So right here, you could definitely see some, and it's, you know, part of the reason is because the cup chain ends here. I could not really put the cup chain at this area here if I wanted to put this crystal decoration here at the bottom. So, and because of the different shapes of the crystals, they don't allow it to lie flat against the back of the stone there. So you're going to see some gaps. So we're just going to fill in those gaps with a couple of different seed beads. 15s is fine. The demis are fine. I love using demis in bead embroidery because they're just like, they're half the size of the bead. And they just fit, they work. So I have some demis in here. So you can see these little turquoise ones are demis. The 15s are not, but these little silver things right here, these are demis. So the 11 demis actually work really well with that as well. So, but yeah, so let's go ahead and let's fill in that gap over there. So like I said, if you have leather and you're going to put cabochons on the leather and you want to see leather, that's fine. But we do not show any of this backing stuff here. So cool. All right, good. Awesome. Now that we covered that, because there are some really fantastic pieces of leather, fantastic colors. Like I'm going to use this color, which is a little different. But you know, you got really nice, like metallics, like, silvers. We have some nice snake print patterns. And even ultra suede, you can still look at the ultra suede too. It's fine. Just not the stiff stuff. At least not if I'm teaching it. So please don't do that. So it's all up to you. I guarantee you that. But you know, it's kind of like, I don't think anybody really wants to see that. All right. So now we're going to take our needle and we're just going to come up in between these spaces here, that we're going to fill. So if I can find where I need to go into. So it's a lot of poking up and down the search. Okay, cool. Yeah. So the silver and gold one is really pretty. So that is the prettiest. But Cheryl, let me know if you wanted the other colorway. I can definitely switch that out. So based on what I see in there, I think I'm just gonna go with perhaps some demis. So I'm looking at the space and judging the size of what I need to go in there. So I'm going to grab a 15 and I'm going to grab some demis and a 15 and see if that sequence, so there's the sequence that I grabbed, and I'm going to see if that sequence will actually fit in there. I'm not sure if it will, but we'll try. I might have to drop off a demi. Let's see. We'll try 3. So it's a lot of trial and error, I guess. So now I have 3 beads. I have a 15, a demi, and a 15. And I'm just gonna go back down into the stiff stuff at the edge of that little corner there, just to fill in that space. So, and there you go. There you can see it right there. It's just sitting in there to fill in that space. So now we're just going to travel on to the next little open area there. See? Stuck that needle back up through. You don't really have to so you can just put these seed beads in there. You don't really have to back stitch them in there. They're going to be protected by the crystal and by the cabochon, so I can almost guarantee that nothing's going to get snagged on those guys. So no worries there. So this space is a little bit tinier, but I'm going to try to stick 2 demis in there. Two demis should be about the size of an 11-0 seed bead. And there are our 2 demis. Can you guys see them? They are right there. And all I'm doing is filling up this gap here, so that way I don't see the white. I don't want to see any of that white. All right, so we're gonna go back up through the stiff stuff here. I call it stiff stuff, it's knockoff stiff stuff, so. Knockoff works just as well as the other stuff, trust me. You're not gonna see it anyways, you just gotta be able to stitch through it. So grab 2 demis, because I think they'll fit in there, and stitch right back down. And there it goes, pops right in there, see? It takes apart that white. All right, and then we got this other section here that we want to do, which is right in between these 2 crystals right here, and then we're So I'm going to grab what I grabbed at the beginning, which was a 15, a demi, and a 15. Although this space is a little bit tinier, so I might drop off a 15. So now I just have a There we go. Hey guys, sorry. I think I lost you for a little while. Let me know if you're back. I'm back. Let me know if you guys are back. I don't know why, but I lost the connection for a minute. Somebody type something to let me know they're here. Somebody say, Stephanie, I'm here. Hey, Shirley. Ciao, zia Monica. Hey, Sue. Hey, Betty. So, I'm here. Yay. Okay, we're back. Okay, cool. Hi. So what we did here is we just, now I'm tilting this over to the side so you can see. But you can see those little turquoise demis in there and some 15s. All we did was fill in those little white spaces that were in there that were in between the crystals. So had to walk Toby. Oh, I understand. Still stalking. Woo! So that's all we did was fill in those little gaps there to make sure that that's all cleared up and go. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to cut. I'm done. All right. You guys might not be done. So what weight of leather, or do you know how do you purchase leather? Okay. We'll talk about that. Let's talk about that. So since this is a little different. Since some of you guys might not know about leather, a lot of you guys purchase ultra suede. Ultra suede is widely available through bead stores and stuff like that. And some of us have leather. A lot of it's goat skin, lamb skin, that kind of thing. So leather is sold sold in ounces. So that's kind of like how they do the weight. So what you're looking for bead embroidery is anywhere from a 1 ounce to a 3.5 ounce. 3.5 ounce is going to be kind of thick, but you're still going to be able to get through it through glovers. This one here, if I flip it over right here, this is about a 1.5 ounce. This one here, this silver one, this is about a 2 ounce. Can't see it because of reflectivity, but yeah, this is about a 2 ounce, the thickness. So that's how it's sold. So your goal is to find about a 2 ounce of the weight. So 1.5, of course, is easier to get through. Anything that's like really buttery soft is what you're looking for. And you're looking for lambskin or goat skin. Cowhide is going to be a really thicker weight. So even if it's calf. So, and we do have a lot of the Italian lambskin leather here. Different colors, different ideas. So hang on, let me go grab some. Luckily, I have a store that I'm able to go grab from. So, you're back. The one I bought was the last one, and it says gold with silver ropes. Yep, that's the traditional colorway. That's pretty. But Cheryl, let me know if you want the bronze one instead, because I do have the bronze one, or I have the black and silver. So, all right. Yeah, I know. I got interrupted. I lost connection. So, but anyway, so these are all. This is all like Italian lambskin leather. This is probably goat skin actually. So, but we have different kind of designs. So this is like a holographic design with polka dots. This is, another holographic design. So, and this one's a little thicker. So this is probably a 2.5 to 3 ounce. A paisley design on black leather. So, this would be a snakeskin pattern. So this is really thin as well. This is probably 1.5. This would be like a stingray style. It's not real stingray leather. It's just meant to look like it. We'll save the stingrays, I know. Okay. But anyways, so this is about a 2 ounce. Some taupe colored with metallic lines. Eggshell color. I mean, you name it, we got tons of it here. So, different patterns, and so it offers something different other than your regular ultra suede. So the ultra suede color. So this is something that you can. Good thing I am not there, or you would be out of leather. That's funny, Sue. I know we got a ton of it, so you could come on down. This is the rose gold. Okay. So this is a good example. So this is a whole lot thicker. You could see the thickness on this. So this is actually cowhide. This cowhide is 3 ounces thick. So, but you can see how thick it is compared to something like this one that I'm actually working with today, which is really, really thin. So, but yeah, you're good. The good go-between would be a 2 ounce. So, if that answers that question. And this is, so we sell them in half sheets or whole sheets. So this would be a whole sheet. A whole sheet is 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches. A half sheet, this is a half sheet here. And this is 4.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So there's your options. So let me know if you have any other questions about that. I'd be happy to answer it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to kind of tie off my ends here. I have a couple of different working threads going on here. So we're just going to tie off what we got, cut off the tails, and then we're going to cut around the edge because I'm done with this. If you guys are working on your own or you want to do something different, go for it. But I'm happy with it. I think it looks cool. So, all right. So we're going to cut off some of these guys here. We just don't want any little fringes bothering us when we're getting ready to glue and stitch the back and all that other fun stuff. I don't, at least. So it's time for trimming. Since none of us can cut our hair right now, let's cut something. Our leather is really pretty. We have really good leather. I source it from different places, so that way we get a good variety, a good option. So, and a lot of it, I buy whole hides. So I cut them up myself, which is great because I can cut them to size. So if you guys, I usually like post on there when I got a new shipment on Facebook. So if you like something and you want bigger than a half sheet or a whole sheet, let me know because I can cut it for you based on what you want. So I just tied that off. All right, cool. So now we got this. We got all of our ends cut off of the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut around the edge. So you might like to look at the pretty side when you cut around the edge. I kind of like to flip it back and forth because you don't want to cut your strings here because then all your little beads here will go flip, 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 flip. They'll all fall off. So we don't like to do that. Nobody wants double work. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut around the edge and we're going to look back and forth to make sure that we're not cutting the threads here. So let me get this back in the camera angle. And you can do like a rough cut and then you can go closer. So that's up to you. So I'm just cutting around the edge here. This part has got to be so super boring for you guys to watch. I'm sorry. I wish I could make it a little bit more interesting. But you can see me flipping it over and stuff like that so I can make sure that I'm not going to cut my threads here. There's nothing worse than that, than seeing your beads fall off the edge. So I'm going to cut this off. So that way I have something smaller to work with. Do you use a piece of cardstock in between the stiff stuff and the leather? The scary part, yep. I don't. So, sorry. I don't typically. If I'm doing a cuff, maybe. But like for a pendant like this, no, not necessarily. Unless it's like when I have soutache and you got the different like dimensions and stuff like that. It's like when you're wrapping your soutache around the back of it, and you got like that dip, then I do something like that. But otherwise, no, typically I don't. I mean, but you can, if you want to make it stiffer, then go for it. So. I usually save the hardest part for last. I don't know why, but that's what I do. So it's kind of like I know around this edge because I'm going to have to be a little bit more precise. It's like, oh, let me whack that off later. See how pretty? Look. All right, it's getting there, guys. Slowly but surely. See how close I got it there? Woo! That's super close. Almost makes me nervous. All right, so let's do this part here. Let's figure out where we're going. Sorry, off the camera lens. Trying to look for myself and I'm using a pair of curved scissors. You could use straight scissors though. So I'm actually not typically the bead embroidery instructor at the shop, so this is a little different from me. But hey, you know, we're all doing different things right now, so not totally our norm, so all right, got that side about done. Beautiful and blingy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. It is very, very blingy. Did not start off that way, but that's the way it ended. Making sure I don't cut my threads, or that I'm not risking where I might cut my threads. Getting kind of close there, so gotta be careful. Shapey, shapey. Alrighty. I think we're just about done here. That is a tail from before, so let's cut that off. Cool. Most beaders love bling. They're fun to work with. Yes. Yes, it is fun to work with. All right, cool. So there we go. There we got our everything cut out that we're supposed to get cut out here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put it against the leather, and we're going to cut it out. We're going to glue it on the leather, and then we're going to cut it out, okay? So let me go grab my glue, and we'll go work on that. So when we're gluing something, we're just going to cover the whole entire back of it with glue when we're gluing this down. So, you know, up to the edge and stuff like that. Not a crazy amount. You don't ever really want a crazy amount of glue. Just a normal amount, just enough to stitch it down, to tack it down, because we're going to be stitching through it afterwards around the side. So it's not like it's going to go anywhere afterwards. So... Oops, sorry. Went to grab the glue. found another little string that I should cut. Right there. See that little guy? Before I glue him down. I'm like a perfectionist, so that's probably why bead embroidery is not a great thing for me. So, like, I make structured pieces, so. All right. So, I have like I said, I have a 4.5 by 8.5 piece of leather. This is the back of my leather. That is the top of my leather. That's what I want to see. So, I'm going to glue my back part of my pendant to the back part of the leather. So, and I'm going to go kind of like close to the edge because, you know, leather is fun. And we don't want to waste it. So I'm not going to exactly put it in the middle of my piece right here. So that way I don't have, you know, that way I have some to work with later on. So, pendants are great for scraps too. I will say that. So, you know, if you have scraps of leather or ultra suede around and you want to, you know, use them, you know, make a couple smaller pendants. That works great. So we're going to take my highly used E6000 right now. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to coat the back of this, you know, kind of trying to want to get the threads down and stuff like that. And we want to kind of get it closer to the edge, but not so close to the edge because we're going to be going through the edges a little bit. And there's nothing worse than trying to bead with glue. So because the needle is not going to want to go through as easily and you're going to get highly upset and, you know, you're going to want to be like, hey, where's the liquor store? That kind of thing. So we don't want to do that. Woo! This glue is strong. I'm close to it too. It's like I'm glue huffing right now. All right, so here we go. We're going to take this and we're going to flip it over and place it onto the leather, closer to the edge. Cool? Cool. All right, so now I'm going to cut this out. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to cut this out, and I'm just going to do a rough cut, and then we're going to cut it out closer to it. So rough cut with bigger scissors. And see, I even leave like little pieces like this because, you know, those little pieces are, you can use them for something with leather, trust me. So. All right, so this is the back now of the pendant, where it is here with the leather. So, and you know, like I said, I didn't directly state it, but you want to make sure that you have everything stitched down before you put glue on the back. So make sure that you're done adding. So if you're not done adding, if you think you're going to add some more later on, then be careful with, you know, gluing it down. All right, so now we're going to cut around the leather closer to the stiff stuff. So basically following the same pattern that I did with the stiff stuff, but you don't have to worry so much about cutting the threads now because you're following the pattern of the stiff stuff and the threads are glued down to the leather. So you're going to be close and you're going to cut it close. But you're not going to worry too much about cutting your threads anymore, if that makes sense. I saw a lot of you guys left really nice posts on the post that I put on last night. Thank you so much. I have not had a chance to actually reply to them. Mondays for work for me are typically busy. I have very, very, very long conference calls. And everybody reaches out, so I have not had a chance, but tonight I will go back through and thank each and every one of you for thinking of us and telling everybody how much you love us and stuff like that. We love you too, trust me. So Did you say there are going to be kits? Do you like it, Sharon? Do you really like it? Yeah, there's going to be kits. We're going to make kits for this one. I don't know. I kind of like the way it came out. And I typically do not say, oh, wow, I have to make a kit out of this. But I think I really do have to make a kit out of this. So, you know, just because it's got the, you know, it's got my mom's cabochon in there. And then, it's got, you know, just some different kind of stuff. I think, you know, different kind of things to work with, like stitching down the crystals. I do. Yay. It's got different kinds of, you know, beads in there that we don't typically see when it comes to bead embroidery. So, you know, I mean, granted, we see the fire polish and everything else, but the sequins and the crystal and the settings, along with the cabochon here, it kind of works. So, and sometimes we need something different in our lives. So, something different and shiny. And it's a small enough pendant that you can get it done in a couple hours. But it's fun enough that, you know, it's small enough that you can, you know, it's not overly sized to wear like crazy. So, all right, cool. So that part's done. This is our leather that's left over. So it's a little bit of a scrap, you know. So depending on the type of leather that you have, this has a, like a foil coating on it. It is down very well on this leather, so we can probably use these little strips here for something. But sometimes when you get to that point and you have that foil on it, the foil is gonna want to come off. So but we typically get the better one. So all right, cool. So now what we have to do is we have to do my ultimate favorite stitch. What is it? Brick stitch. Yes. All right. I hate brick stitch, like to the point, like, ugh. Yeah, you can do it in a couple hours, much longer for me. I do too, but I already have the cab. Yes, you do. You have the cab. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll make another colorway, Lynn, that you don't have. Brick stitch, you got it. Oh, look, my ring matches. Okay, sorry. Yep, brick stitch. That's right. Everybody that knows Stephanie knows what stitch she hates the most. So that's probably another reason why I refrain from so much bead embroidery. So, all right, let's talk about brick stitch for a minute. I'm gonna get another piece of thread because I'm not left with that much thread. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab another piece. No, I love this one. I know, right? Okay, there's my bobbins. Okay, so I use 1G on this. You can use on this part, you can use Fireline if you want, or whatever you're comfortable with. It's your beading thread, you know, that you're comfortable with using. So love to learn the brick. Cool. So we're gonna use, I'm thinking I'm going to use the size 11s around here, which would be these kind of like turquoisey blue color here, 11s. Can you see them? Or are they off the screen? I can't tell. Nope, they're on the screen. Okay, so I think I'm going to use those right there to go around the edge. So you want something that's going to cover up right about here. Oh, let me flip this and put this in the camera screen. So you want it to cover up right around here. So so the beads are going to actually, hi Rita. So they're actually just going to sit on the edge like this. And then so you're going to see the holes around the edge. So you're going to also want to choose a neutral color thread. So I'm going to choose a gray color thread or something that goes along with the color of the bead, I will say. So blue would go along with it, but I'm going to use this gray. So silver gray-ish color. So I'm going to teach you guys the which would be the easiest part of the brick stitch, the traditional part. There's other types. You can pick up different combinations of beads. So I can do this brick stitch around the side with fire polish if I wanted to. So, you know, and typically I do use bigger beads because I'm over this and I really don't want to do this. So I typically do use bigger beads. But, so I know I picked up some fire polish before. some 3mm. So let's say I wanted to use like this, you know, around the edge, and you can do that, and that would be pretty cool too because it would cover up the edge. So, or you can use like 11s or something like that. Or I can say I want fire polished around this side, this part here, and I want 11s down at the bottom. So, but I think I'm just gonna do all 11s just for kicks and giggles. So, but you guys got options. The brick stitch will work with just about any way, any type of bead. So what we're gonna do is I just made a little knot ball at the bottom. So I made a quilter's knot with a knot ball, and I'm just gonna cut the tail off without cutting my finger, please. That would be great. There. Okay. So that little knot ball is going to go, I'm hitting this basket now, it's going to annoy me. It's going to go in between the stiff stuff here. So you want your knot ball to be sandwiched in between the stiff stuff and the leather. Ta-da. All right. So it's just going to hold in there. And starting places. So I like to start somewhere where I'm going to have a little bit of going for a little while. So I typically, so like I chose right here, which is this corner. So I'm going to go up around the cab all the way to the other side and then down through this part here. Like I said, I like to zip through the easy parts first and then go and do the little harder parts later on. So that's kind of me. So, but you can start wherever you want on this. So our first stitch with brick stitch, we're going to pick up 2 seed beads. You're going to bring down those seed beads to the edge, all right, of where your tail is, where your thread or working thread is. You're going to line them up against the side of the project here, okay? So, and then we're going to go through either the leather and the stiff stuff or the stiff stuff and the leather. You choose your direction. So, all right, so I like to go up through this leather and the stiff stuff at the point. All right, and then we're going to go back up through the last seed bead, back up through. And the reason back up through, because it's going to force those seed beads to pop over the side of the edge. And that is what's going to keep it pointing upward and hide that white part that's there. Oop, let me put it back in the frame. So, got it? All right. Get it, got it, good. So, another thing we can do is you can, as we're going along, you can actually join in with these little beads that are on the side here and pull that in, and that will help pull the brick stitch up closer. And that's up to you. So, if you want to do that, you can. If not, it's fine. So, I'm not going to do that because I don't think I need to at this point. So, but now we're going to pick up a bead one at a time. And this is what it's going to take forever, but that's probably why I don't like brick stitch. Brick stitch, to me, I can get the same look with peyote. Like, okay, so when we're talking about brick stitch, I'm talking about not using the bead embroidery brick stitch, but like the regular brick stitch with bead weaving brick stitch. So I can get the same look with peyote, and it seems like it takes me a whole lot less time. And granted, I'm not a big fan of peyote either. So, so it's just kind of like, you know, my favorite stitches are, I guess, more structural in that case, I guess, more mathematical maybe. I like right angle weave and stuff like that. So, all right, so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm picking up one bead at a time, and what I'm going to do is I'm going in the space of one bead. I'm going up through the stiff stuff and the leather and the stiff stuff. All right next to where that bead should go, and then back up through the leather. And that creates that nice little edge right along. And so if I flip it over, you can see the little stitches right along the edge here. So, all right. So don't like put your needle all the way into, you know, God knows where, like back here, you know, into the leather, because you want to try to keep your stitches as close to the edge as possible. Whoop, let me get in there. So, all right. So we're just moving right along. Does anybody have any questions about bead embroidery while I'm on here and making you guys dizzy with the camera? Now is the time to ask. Stephanie is stuck here. Brick stitching. Give Stephanie something to do to take her mind off of this. Are you recording so I can look back? Yes, ma'am, we are recording. So this will be posted to Facebook, and it'll also be posted to our YouTube page. So you can subscribe to us on YouTube. We got tons of videos here. This is the third part in the series. So there's going to be 3 total videos. It went all the way from me teaching you how to pick out colors, and how to, stitch down the cabochon and how to encase the cabochon, to, I want to learn how to use a ribbon with bead embroidery. Oh, okay. The shibori ribbon. Yeah, I can show you that too. That's not hard either. So went all the way from the basic parts of picking out the colors to how to stitch down the, how to glue down the cabochon, how to stitch around the cabochon, everything. So, we made this entire pendant the whole way through. Any special needle to use for the brick stitch? I use long needles. I can't use short needles. Some people like the short needles. They say they work faster. But I need the long needles. I need to hold something. So I need to feel it. So if I don't feel it, I can't do it. So no type of special needle. You can, okay, so if you have a really, really thick leather, so if you have, remember I was showing you this rose gold leather here, which is a little thicker at the edge, so you can see the thickness there. It's pretty thick. Your regular size 12 beading needle will not want to go through there. I can tell you that right now. You're going to hate me. It's going to go eat and bend. So even with tulips. So if you want, you can use glovers. Glovers are available in different sizes. The most popular size is either a size 10 to a size 12 in a glover. So if you're going to work a lot with leather, I would recommend that. The reason with the glover is it's a thicker needle. It's the point of it, like, so here, like the tip point of a tulip here, is really thin, and it is pointed. But a glover, let me go grab a glover. And I'm back. All right. So these are glovers here. All right, so you can see they're a little shorter. I'm going to use the size 4 because you can see it better. But I would use either a size 10 or a size 12. So the 4s are for extremely thick leather that it's really hard to work with. So, all right, so here we go. So you can see the point on, shoot, it wants to focus in on that, but you can see the point on this glover. It's really sharp. So, and this, it's a really thick needle. So here's the glover. Here is my tulip needle. That's my tulip needle is a size 11. So, so it will help you go through the leather a lot better. So Jenny was, stated about the ribbon. So this is the ribbon she's talking about, I hope, because I'm just assuming. So this is shibori. A lot of people want to learn how to work with it. So there is a definite side to shibori. So ta-da, you got the colors in there. So stitch it down. It's not really hard to do, so I can do that in one of the videos and show you. I just want to get some more shibori in stock before I do that. So cool. Yes, it looks like a dagger for sure. Let's see, what other edges can you use? No, there's a picot. Any others? So yeah, so there is a couple of different ways to stitch around the edge. So there's one where you can grab a couple different, like a couple more than just one seed bead. And what you're going to do is you're going to go back through the leather like so. And it's going to like create like a, I'm just going to do this one just so you guys can see it. And then I'll take it out. But say I grab 3 seed beads. But see, it's going to roll an edge around the edge just like that. So you're going to have a rolled edge. And what you're going to do is you're just going to create little loops all the way around. So there's that one you can do. Let me take this out. Then there's one you can do where it'll flip the, sorry, I lost connection. Are you recording? Yes, I am recording. So it will be posted, and it will be posted onto YouTube as well. Posted on Facebook and YouTube. So the other one you do, so this causes it to flip up on its edge like this. So there's another one that you do that will be just the seed beads will be close to each other instead of flipped up on the edge. But that uses a connection of the seed beads that are along the edge. So it would be something that we could do on this side here, but not around here because I would have to grab the seed beads from the edge. So cool. But yeah, there are different options that you can do for the edging. Picot. So if you were to do a picot, so say I wanted to do a picot. So I would grab a 15 and another 11 and go back up through my stiff stuff here and leather. Not behind the fire polish. There we go. So, and that can create like a little picot at the edge. Can you see my little 15 just sticking there? So, but yeah, so there's the other option. So, and I am actually, rather than take that stitch out, I'm going to snap this bead. So, maybe. This is a strong one. There you go. Ta-da. It's gone. It made powder. I made dust out of it. Anybody else got any questions while we're going? So again, just take a bead at a time, go through the leather and the stiff stuff, and then, let me put this back onto the screen and back up through the bead. And that's why we kind of try to get as close as we can to the edge when we're starting off with the stiff stuff, because we just want the edge to be right against the edge of the beads on the actual piece. So. Up around the edge here. I know this is kind of the boring part. Not like the designing. But it's essential. You kind of have to do it to finish off your piece, so. Darn it, knots. Hate knots. I also don't use thread conditioner or beeswax or anything like that, so knots do happen sometimes. Sorry, I'm playing with the beads here because, you know, got a knot. So, there we go. Up through the bead. Don't forget that part. You can't continue unless you do that. Alrighty. I was looking at the time. It's 4 o'clock, so... All right, so this is how it's looking so far. So there's the edge. And the edge covers up the white along the edge and goes up to against the fire polished. Cool? So our edge is also what we're going to use on the top to create like a bail or something like that for this pendant. Awesome. Awesome. Anybody have any other questions about bead embroidery? What they can use, what they can't use, what I might recommend with something. You can send me pictures too if you have like a design dilemma or not sure about colors. Colors are funny with me because, you know, I'm colorblind, but colorblind for dark colors. So please don't put dark blue and dark brown and black next to each other and expect me to tell you which one looks better. I will not be able to tell the difference. These videos are pretty cool because they actually give you a realization of how long this actually will take you to do. So, although I power through it a little bit more faster than some others, but I'm typically pretty fast beater. More seed beads. The blue is your favorite color, the turquoise. Turquoise is really pretty. This is it's a different color. So, this actual 11, it's called Hybrid Milky Island Paradise. So, if you look at the beads themselves, they're kind of like translucent. So, but they still have that turquoise color to it. So I kind of like it. It gives it a nice touch, almost a luminescent edge. And that's a Toho color if anybody's interested of what seed bead. We have a mixture of seed beads here. We have Tohos, Mayukis, and Matsunos, so just a little bit of everything. I buy based on color, so I really don't buy based on brand name. So, I mean, of course, you know, Delicas or Mayukis, but... So you gotta buy based on brand name for that. So, not saying that Tohos don't have their version. They do. They have treasures and Acos, and their Acos are better than their treasures, the treasure line. So, as for a cylinder bead, but most people, when they're looking for a cylinder bead, they look for a Delica. Which, these are Delicas right in here. This part that I stitched around the cab, I use Delicas. You can use regular seed beads to stitch around a cab as well. Just always remember that you need an even number because you're going to peyote off of your back stitch there from the start. Whoop, making you dizzy. There's the back if anybody wants to see. Okay. Small stitches all the way around. Don't want anything really, really too big, too gaping, too long, because otherwise you're going to see that in the back. And then, you know, you do want to show off the back. So I have pretty leather in the back, so I do want to show it off. That kind of thing. Hey, Robin. Thank you. It is coming out really pretty. So what I'm doing right now, guys, is just a simple, it's a little simple brick stitch that's around the edge, just to finish this off. You do a brick stitch to attach your leather to your stiff stuff, so it hides the edge. That's all you're doing, is to hide the edge. Because, you know, we can glue it, and glue can stick there, and it'll stay there. So, you know, it's not like the glue's not gonna be enough to stick it down, but it just looks incomplete and messy if you just glue it and don't do anything else to it, to me. So I prefer, even though I hate brick stitch with a passion, you know, I will forego my hatred for it and do this so that way I can finish off my piece nicely. But you can see I'm using a regular needle right now to get through this leather. So that's like the kind of leather that we like to sell. Is the leather that we can treat it almost like it is ultra suede. So sparkly. Oh, wow. Oh, I love brick stitch, right, Stephanie? I hate brick stitch, Lynn, so much. This is so painful right now. You're probably, the only reason I'm probably not cursing is because I'm still huffing this glue here from the E6000, so. And I chose 11s only because you have recently come to love brick stitch. Robin, you're doing those little things, right? The tapestries. Do you have to do tapestries? Do you have to do the brick stitch with tapestries? Or can you do peyote? I don't know. I don't think I'll ever love brick stitch. I think I can love my other stitches that are available. These things must be hilarious to watch afterwards because they must be saying, who the hell is this girl talking to? Or is she just talking to herself? You know, it's kind of like, you know, because we're doing this video live, so I'm actually answering the questions that I see come across the screen. But, you know, probably when they watch this back on YouTube, she's probably like, oh, okay, this girl, yep, she did sniff a little bit too much glue. So she's talking to herself here. Kind of asking her own questions and answering them. She's bored, so she just wants to hear herself talk. Some of the tapestries are brick and others are peyote. Okay. So I can see why you would like brick stitch then. You know, if you have to do a whole entire tapestry for brick stitch. Oh my God. That's like nails on a chalkboard for me. All right, look, I made it all the way around. I did it, guys. Now I got this part to do right here. So, and this part shouldn't be as bad. I mean, the edges, the corners or the dips are not as sharp. It's kind of more just like a rolling wave. So, you know, it shouldn't be that bad to actually finish off. And what time is it? It's 4:10. So I'm just trying to keep track of time to see how long it actually takes me to get around this whole entire cab. So that way I can count that off as, you know, time that I did brick stitch. So, you're too funny. I know this is what they're probably thinking when they're watching back. They're like, oh, this girl, she is lost her freaking marbles. I thought the bead was 1 hour earlier. Oh, hey, you know? Yeah, I think we scheduled the Coffee with Stephanie where Stephanie just talks. I do not post those to YouTube, by the way. So if you have to watch them or watch them back, you have to go to Facebook to watch those back. I don't think there's any educational value to putting that on YouTube. So other than comedic relief. So thank you. But yeah, we just keep going. So I only post the videos where I actually teach something, not where I'm just talking, just for the hell of it. Are you going to show a bail for this? Yes, I can show a bail for this. It'll probably be a simple bail, but I can show a bail. Let's just get around this thing, and then we will go on to the bail. Chances are I'll probably be around this thing at around 4:30. If I don't get any more knots in my thread. I was really considering using 8s around the edge, guys, because I was like, 8s move a whole lot quicker. And that fire polish that I put right next to it, that was extremely tempting. I was like, ooh, fire polish. Big, big beads. The bigger the bead, the easier it is. Takes less time to get around. If Betty Steffen or, you know, Hannah or any of the other, Sherry or any of those other ones log on, they're probably like, oh God, look at this girl. She's butchering bead embroidery for us because she's telling them to use big beads to go around. Have any of you guys tried the Zoom classes yet? How they work out? I know some of you joined Melissa Grukowski on YouTube. But I don't know if any of you actually tried the Zoom classes yet. Just want to know about their video quality. I attended 2 of your live posts and learned a lot from watching you. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. This is not what I do on a regular basis. My mom owns a shop, so and typically I work in food safety, so I am actually an epidemiologist. So I should be on the front lines of this COVID-19 thing. But I do mostly food safety. I don't do viruses like that, so. Don't have Zoom. Yeah, Zoom's an app you have to download, I think. So when I officially go back to work, because I have multiple locations that I watch over for food safety purposes, and they don't want us doing a lot of traveling right now because of the COVID-19 thing and risking getting our employees sick. So as soon as that kind of lifted, then I will still continue to do the videos. They just will not be as frequent because the other part of my job is I work at night. So I am a zombified during the daytime, typically. So we'll probably do one maybe at the beginning of the week and probably on the weekend. So there's the back of it, so that way you guys can see how it's going, how it's progressing. I do not understand why this piece of leather is not going in like that. There we go. That was bothering me. Sorry. Zoom worked great. Completed with Sabine. Oh, okay, cool. Loved it. You can see all the beaders face to face. Awesome. I know a lot of people were doing that. Yeah, there's one thing I can't, you can't turn the camera angle on this or anything. So you can, but, I mean, it's going to do little good if you're trying to see the way I'm stitching, so. You can say that again, zombie. Lynn has seen me be zombified. So, Lynn has seen me be zombified. I'm trying to think of who else would be on here that would see me be. Connie has seen me be zombified. Shirley, if you're still on here, yep. Sharon has probably seen me as a zombie. So, I look like deformed over. Just because I'm slightly warm, but I'm really cold. So, because, I want to sleep. For unlimited times, and I think... Oh, okay. Oh, good. Awesome. So you can be on there for a long time. Good. I mean, not good if you have something else to do, but, at least good so, you can get through the project with everybody. Did you feel comfortable with spending a long time on there? Like, were you okay with spending a couple of hours on there? Because, it's different when, because we host classes here, but we always have the instructor here. So, it's kind of like, you have other distractions around you with other people here, and you have other people's opinions and talking and stuff like that. So I'm not sure, if 6 hours of sitting in front of a computer screen is going to be, too much for people. I mean, they do it for work, but still. You need a mobile camera to show it like you do here. And additionally, you can help anyone that's stuck. Oh, you had one 15-minute break. Okay, cool. That's fun. You guys can do lunch together, too. It's like, hey, all 16 of you, let's do lunch. What do you have? Lunchables! I think that's why you guys watch me. It's a little bit for comic relief, too. So you notice I'm trying not to catch the thread of the beads that are on the inside here. So I'm trying to leave those guys alone. They're just floating there. So we're just going to leave them floating there. You got it. Yeah, you're watching me for the comic relief, huh? We can laugh a little bit about our day. Let's see, 4:19. I might actually end up finishing this at 4:30. We need to laugh. We do. Laughing's good for the soul. It's good when we got nothing. Some of us have nothing but time on hands. Others of us are still a little busy. Little busy here, right, Sharon? So this edge, there we go. All right. Damn it. This notch, this thread is going to be the end of me. It's one thing I hate about 1G. It's when you go through it multiple times, it kind of likes to ravel on itself. It won't happen if you use conditioner, guys. Oh, that would be cool. Thank you. Yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to try it out, Beatrice. Bye, Bonnie. See you later. Tell Andrea and Ron I said hey. All right. This is going to cut into my time of finishing on at 4:30 if I keep on getting knots. So you can actually do the back stitch with 15s. It'll make a softer, smaller edge, but it'll take a lot longer. And I don't have the patience for that right now. Okay, cool. Email address is Beadjoux, the store name, BEADJOUX @att.net. I don't know, Sharon. That's a very good question if everybody needs to have their own Zoom account. Probably. Or sign up for it. I think it's free to sign up for, is what I've heard. Is anybody here in Georgia going out to any restaurants today? Just a question. Don't beat me up for it. Just asking. Oh, okay, cool. Nope, Brenda. Robin's Kitchen again? Yeah, you know what? That's a pretty popular spot. Oh, okay, 40 minutes. All right, but you probably have to sign up for, if you want to host a class, then you have to get like the deluxe version because, the deluxe version allows you to stay on for longer and have more people, I imagine. We can have a block party on there, guys. It'll be really entertaining. Knitting and beading. See, we're learning bead embroidery and Zoom here. This is a multi-layered class. Show and tell. Oh, 15. Not too bad. I mean, especially if you plan to, you know, if you're planning to teach on here on the app or the program a lot, then $15 a month isn't that bad at all. Okay, so my people who usually typically come to the store to take a national instructor, is that something that you guys would be comfortable with later on doing Zoom classes, or would you still like to have the instructor here present? I'm not saying for like Monica or anything like that for right now. She might do it for some of her bead and button things, but later on, like say this stuff continues and we have the Melissa can't make it here. This is hypothetical, of course, but say she can't make it here. Would you guys be comfortable with doing something like Zoom with her instead? Or would you like to do that instead of having the instructor come here altogether? I'm just polling customers and see what they want. Yes, I am going to show the bale. Yep. I'm almost done. I got this much left to do. $4:26. I have 4 more minutes. Yes. Yes, 4. You would probably have written instructions that you can bead along with. So kind of like how we do the classes here, where the instructor would actually say, okay, well, we're going to start off with making the rope, and then we're going to go to making the structural part of the pendants, and then that kind of thing. So you probably make small pieces of each kind of component, just like you kind of do in a class, but you probably have written instructions as well to go along with. So you probably would be beading together for a point. I don't know, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I feel like almost the whole interaction thing with having the instructor here is probably most of the fun part about it. So that's why I was wondering about the Zoom class thing, like if you guys would like prefer to have that over. Would come if it was safe outside. Love in person, yeah. There's a whiteboard you can show us. There is a whiteboard you can show us too. Whiteboard? Whiteboard, what are we talking about? On the app, or are we talking about in person, or? On Zoom. Oh, okay. Cool. So how do you work the whiteboard on there? Is it kind of like you can draw on it or something? Okay, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I think most people would prefer in person if they get the chance to do it in person. Zoom would kind of be a, you know, last choice effort. Like, I really want to do this class, but, you know, the tsunami came and she can't come now and, you know, that kind of thing. So, but. All right, guys, last one. Last stitchy. All right, so when we meet with our first and our last bead, which is right here, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go down into the first bead and up into the last bead, just to connect the two together. So that way you don't see a gap in a space there, okay? So that's it. We have just beaded around the whole entire darn cab. Cool? So I'm gonna teach you guys what to do with a bail from the top here. Let me end my thread. And we'll start a new one up there. Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Oh, that's cool. All right, Adobe Documents. That's nice. I like that because I have the Adobe products line, so. All right, so we're gonna do just a simple bail coming up from the top here. You guys can be creative with it however you want, but the beads that come up from the top here, there we go. You can see the holes that are pointing up. They allow great for attachment of, you know, other things like beads. So, so I'm gonna do a simple peyote stitch, you know, and we're just going to connect it that way. I think, let's see what we got going on here. I might come up with something more creative. I can use these 3 beads that are up here on top. Let's try something else. Let's try, because peyote bores me, like I said, so let's try something. I think I'm gonna run out of this color of 1G one of these days. I like this silvery gray color. Kind of goes with anything. All right, let's see what we're gonna do with a bail here. Since I did not have anything planned in mind. I'm just gonna add a new thread, come out through top of one of those 3 seed beads that I focused in on the top. Can you see that? See my needle coming through? Ta-da. All right, and I think I'm gonna try to do something with a netting stitch. All right, let's see what we can do here. Since we got some different kind of beads going on. No guarantees that this is gonna work first time around, so let's Let's go with it. So I picked up a sequence of beads and I'm going to go back down into the third seed bead. So I'm taking out this block that's at the tippy top. So I came out of that one and I'm going down into skipping one and going down into the next one. Creating a loop. So I'm going to try to kind of like force a knitting stitch going on here almost. You know what? It probably won't be a knitting stitch. It's probably going to be almost like a right angle weave. But I have these holes here, and we will try to fill up these holes with something else afterwards. All right, so there's 3. We're going to use these Chinese crystals as our connection piece. So we're going to pick up what looks like to be a 15, 11, a 15 crystal, a 15, 11, a 15. Go back through the crystal. There's our second unit. And since this is the bail, or what's going to be the bail, I'm going to go back through all my beads again. Just because it's going to get a lot of wear and tear at this point, so. I guess the size of the bail is going to be depending on the size of the rope that you're going to be putting through it. So I'm going to make mine a couple units long, then stitch it together at the end. So stitch it together, we can stitch it back through here. Sorry, I was off the camera looking at it myself. All right, so repeating process then, we got 15, an 11, a 15, Chinese crystal, 15, 11, and a 15. Go back through the Chinese crystal. Travel back through all the beads again. Exit the crystal. Get ready to add another unit. I'm trying to think of what I can put in the center there. That would be pretty, not too crazy flashy. What do I have in my basket here of goodies? Basket of good stuff. I might put one of these delicas in there. You know what? I might be able to connect another one of these crystals in there too. Be interesting. Don't you love designing on the fly? And if anybody does watch this back, I was kind of talking to myself at that point. So there was nobody asking me any questions. Pick up that sequence again. Travel back through all the beads. All right, let's get another unit together. I think we're gonna need some more 15s, wherever they may be. Get some more of these thunder polished. Not sequins, just a little thunder polished. So we will make up the kits for these pendants and I will post them online for you guys. I'm glad you guys liked it and enjoyed it so much that you want to replicate it. That's pretty awesome. Makes me feel extra special. Ushy gushy. Pass back through everything again, and I'm gonna use, do I have a piece of leather here or something like that? I do, I have leather cord. Nice, because I want to see if this will fit around that. Just like this. Sorry, I'm traveling back through these beads and the 15s are harder for me to see, so I have to bring it closer to me. I think this might be big enough for a bail, so I'm going to test it out though. All right, so I'm exiting now the that one, and it looks like about so. Let me grab a piece of leather cord. So this leather cord is about 3 millimeters thick or something like that. You are extra special. I usually am, yes. All right. I want to make sure it fits on something like this. Yep, it'll fit on there, so I'm good to go. I don't think I need to add any more after that. So I am going to do the same connection that I did over here in the beginning at the end. So, and I think I will share, what shall I share here? Shall I share anything? I think I'll share the demis. Maybe I'll share both the 11s and the 15s. Hang on. Let me think about this. All right, so I'm gonna go see if I'm gonna do this way. So what I did is exiting the thing. I know it's gonna loop over here and I know it's gonna connect to here. So I'm trying to figure out if I want the connection to be just the one unit or if I wanna, create another unit down there, some more legs. If I want this to have some more legs, pretty much. So if I connect it here, the bail is gonna be a lot smaller, see, because then I don't have a lot of workable space to work with. So let me flip it over. So if I connect it here, that's all the workable space I'm gonna have. But if I connect it down further, then I'll have a lot more workable space. So I'm going to try to grab a 15 and 11, and I'm gonna go down into the demi here. And the demi is gonna be a share bead, and down into the 11. Oh, thank you. We are creating this on the fly. Glad you guys like it. So now I'm into this leather here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just actually going to grab the thread here that's right underneath it, that's at that connection, and wrap my needle around that. Can you see it, what I'm doing? All right, so that's all I did was wrap it around there, and that allows me to go back up through the seed beads that I just added. So I'm going through the demi, through the 11, through the 15 that I just added, back through the crystal, that is our midpoint. Whoop, I'm off the camera again. Back through the crystal, and I'm gonna do my legs on the other side. So my legs on the other side are it's gonna be a 15 and 11, and I'm gonna go through the demi. The demi is shared. Share the demi. All right, down into the edging, the brick stitch edging. Pull that through. Catch my thread there by the brick stitch edging, which I have done a very good job of beading this tight. Extremely well. Okay. Back up through that bead, through the demi, through the 11 and the 15. So, I don't like these holes here, these little gaping holes. So I'm going to fill these holes here. So like in between here, you might like the holes. If you like the holes, good for you. I mean, keep them. I'm going to fill them up with something because, I don't know, I feel like it needs that. So up through 15 and through the 11. So we're going to connect it from 11 to 11 here. Whatever we're going to put in the middle. What are we going to put in the middle? Gosh darn it, guys. Give me an idea of what we're going to put in the middle. Let's see if I add another crystal there. Will that work or will it pop out? That'll work, but I think we need something else. Something with a little more oomph. Technical terms for you. Oomph. I kind of want to bring some more turquoise in there. So let's see what we got here. I got some delicas that I could work with. Okay, let's try this combination. Let's see how this works. Will that fit in there? No, too tight. Too tight. Let's try a couple demis. Two demis might work. I really want something shiny though. I really, really do. Hang on, let me go to my wall. All right, so because I have the opportunity, I go to my wall of stuff. So I got aquamarine or I got crystal AB. Let's try crystal AB. Kicks and giggles, right? So this is, I just pulled out a 2.5 millimeter bicone, if you guys want to know. I think a 3 will be too big to fit in that space, so we're trying a 2.5. So what I'm doing is I'm going from 11 to 11. So exiting the 11, I'm going to go into the 11 directly across from it. Maybe, if it wants to agree with me. There we go. All right, back through the bicone. No, a large bail wouldn't take away from it. You can make it larger, you know, if you have a larger rope, you're actually going to have to make it larger, but, this is not a bad size bail. So this is a 3 millimeter round. Is this 3 or is this 5? This is 3. So this is a 3 millimeter. No, it's not. It's got to be bigger than 3. This is around 4 or something like that. Millimeter leather cord. So, and you can see, I'll hold it back there so you can see how much space that I have in there. So I still have a little bit more space. All right. So I like the bicone. What do you guys think? You like the bicone? Add something. Takes away from the hole. So, all right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and travel up through the stitch. So I'm going to go through the 15, through the Chinese crystal, through the next 15, and through that 11-0 seed bead to add the next bicone. And a 2.5 millimeter will fit in here. A 3 will not. I can tell you that. The 3 will be sitting too large on top. Go through the 11 across from it. Back through the bicone. Down into 11. Okay, continue through the 15, through the Chinese crystal. I have to like signify which crystal I'm going through. And I'm on my way to the back side of the bail now. Through the 15 and through the 11. Pick up a bicone. Go from 11 to 11 with the bicone. Back through the bicone. And back through the 11. Okay, continue through the 15 and through the crystal. And through the next 15. And through the 11. All right, pick up another crystal. Travel from 11 to 11 with the crystal bicone. Back through the bicone. So if you guys were doing this on your own, afterwards, I probably would start a new thread when you add the bicones in, just because bicones are little sharp little boogers, and they like to cut your thread sometimes. So that way you're not worried about the bicones cut your thread and your bail unraveling. Just a recommendation. Okay, continue through the 15 and through the Chinese crystal. Maybe. It's getting kind of tough now. I passed through these multiple times. Back down through here to finish it off. And all I'm doing is reinforcing right here at the edge. Alrighty, guys. That's it. That would be a pendant. Let's cut this off. String this through, string a necklace cord through it, just for kicks and giggles. And there you go. We got ourselves a finished pendant. Ta-da! What do we think? Enough for designing on the fly? Yay, Mom approves. Fabulous! Cool. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I will put together some kits Bravo, bravo, thank you. Extra special me, yay. Yep, you can see my disaster going on here. Woo, Stephanie's got a lot to clean up. Holy crap. Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much again for joining us. Bellissimo. È tutto bellissimo. Grazie. Grazie, grazie a tutti. So, good job designing on the fly. Awesome. Is it for sale? I'll sell it. If you want to buy it, I can sell it. So, I will sell the kits too. But yep, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. So if you want to see how large it is on the person, Mom, hold this. So I'll show you how large it is. It ended up being. So can you guys see that? That's how large it ended up being. So, all right. We'll dance for you at the end too. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. I hope you guys had fun. Hope it inspired you to design your own thing. It's not that daunting, as you can tell. You know, just work your way through it. Yay! Glad you enjoyed the class. Yay. All right. Hannah would be proud. I hope so. Thank you. All right. And I'll be posting kits for this later on. So the kits are going to be about $55. So they're not crazy expensive either. And you can follow along with the classes, the videos that we posted online. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great Monday. I hope this made your Monday a little better. And we will see you guys on Thursday. Hugs, kisses. Bye.